Okay, we're live. So, hello everyone, and welcome to the OFR Division 1 Race 6 in Season 1. We've made it all the way to Monaco here today. You've got Dr. Robot commentating along with Mark, Communist Kermit. How you doing there, Mark?
I'm doing very good. I'm very excited for this race. Yeah, we are beginning with qualifying, of course, and let's see who can set the fastest time today.
Yep, so we've got 13 drivers with us today. We do have actually 17 drivers, I think, in D1 now, 17 or 16, I can't remember, but a few of them unfortunately can't make it today because of this whole coronavirus thing and work commitments and people having to work longer hours. So we've only got 13 today, but I can imagine it's still going to be a very, very interesting race. We've got a few drivers out on track right now. Let's see who is currently leading the pack of all of them. It looks like one of the Force Indias, is that right? Is that AJ?
Let me turn on my telemetry.
No, it's a McLaren. It's a McLaren. It looks like it's Young Stinson. Here he goes. Right, so Young Stinson is about to start his lap, so just ride on board with him and I'll take you through his hot lap. So we can see he's got his ERS already set to hot lap. He's already on throttle in third gear around the final corner at turn 19. Now, that was pretty impressive. But let's check his braking point after turn 1. It's about 10 meters after he goes underneath that white sign there. Turns in, keeps it in third gear, and off he goes all the way up to turn 2. And this long right-hander at turn 3, which is Massenet. He tries to keep it to the inside. I think he gets a little bit of understeer there, but he drops it down to third as he's going through turn 4 there. Right past the casino section, and all the way into turn 5. Drops it down to first with an early upshift into second there. And here he comes round the hotel hairpin. Oh, he goes a little bit wide there. I think that was a little bit wider than he wanted to. Drops it down to first again with an early upshift into second. And you can see him doing that all through this whole section from 5 all the way to 8 there through Portier. He was dropping down into first. So he's going through the tunnel right now. Here he comes downhill. Brakes at about 75 meters. Yes, around there. Turns it in. Keeps it into first again. Early upshift into second. And he's already back up to full throttle as we've got a yellow flag in sector 2. One of the Ferraris has come off, I think. But he flies around that corner. Almost kisses the wall there. Goes through the first chicane. And now he's going up to the final corner 17. Drops it down to second, has a little bit of an oversteer moment, and here he comes, DRS open. Let's see what his lap time is. He's put in a 1:10.3. Now that is a pretty impressive lap, but I don't think that's anywhere near what the fastest is going to be. I think we're going to see around a 1:08 here.
Yeah, we know AJ is capable of a 1:08. We just saw it in the practice session. And Stinson, there we go, AJ with a 1:09.3, and Stinson should be able to do quicker than that. So yeah, I think this was just a practice run, because he went out very early, you know, straight away.
What are your predictions? Who do you think is going to get pole today?
Ooh, pole? I think Stinson. I think if you mean, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, go on.
I thought you said no, but I think if Stinson can do a no mistake quali, then, you know, I think he should be able to put in such a fast lap time as we know he can do. He's high up on the leaderboards, and I think he might just be starting another hot lap here, or he's going into the pits. I'm not sure.
So right now I'm just riding on board with Castle in the Ferrari. He's currently sat in 7th with a 1:14 on mediums, but that must have been a warm-up lap, or he must have made a mistake. I know he can go faster than that. In terms of strategy for this race, if there's no safety car, it's 100% going to be a one-stopper, and I think this race is going to be won and lost in the pits if these guys can keep it clean. If there's a safety car, we may even see a two-stopper if the safety car's on the first lap. We saw that in the D3 race on the Thursday just gone. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure what these drivers are going to do. Another thing to point out, actually, is that I think a 1:13 or 1:12 is going to be the average pace for D2 drivers. Ooh, Castle gets a bit messy there as he goes through turn 12. And that is about 3 or 4 seconds off of fastest D1 time. And usually there's only about a 2-second average gap between D1 and D2. But this just shows you how difficult this track is around Monaco. Castle's coming into the pits, okay.
Yeah, of course, with the lack of traction control, I think the D1 drivers can make up a lot of time here, and also they are usually a lot better at handling the lack of ABS. And you see a lot of D2 drivers lock up into Nivelle chicane, and that costs a lot of time. And I think those little mistakes, those little you know, the traction control AI that the most D2 drivers use, really cost them time here at such a tight track and short as well. And Jan just coming. Oh no, that is a warm-up lap.
Yes, I'm just riding on board with Mats right now because I think he's on an out lap. He already invalidated his lap into turn 1, so he's going to have to go all the way around again. I'm not sure what his fuel situation is, but this cannot be good for him. Other people on the out laps are Stinson and Leica.
Yeah, we see most drivers going for a soft tire, which would mean they are predicting a safety car, because otherwise I think they would have qualified on the mediums as Jan and Casso have done.
Yeah, but, and actually a lot of these D1 drivers have been saying all week that they are faster on the medium tyres, which is obviously completely backwards, but that's just the kind of thing that Monaco can do to you.
Yeah, I think they say not necessarily looking at time, but the way they feel on this track, because you hear a lot of D1 drivers say, "Oh, the hards feel horrible here. You can't turn at all." And I think the softs they wear away too quickly, and on the hards you just don't have the grip. So I think most D1 drivers, especially for Monaco, want that fine balance between those two tires and then go for the mediums. So I don't think necessarily that is that faster is looking at time, but looking at their race, their full length of the race.
I see. So we're just riding on board with Mats right now, who is on a hot lap now. He has set his ERS back up to overtake, and he's just going through Portier there at turn 8 now. So as he goes through the tunnel section, I just wanted to quickly remind everyone of the current driver stats. So AJ, who is currently sat in pole, his average quali finish position is 2.2. So I think we're definitely going to see something like that again here. I think the worst he's ever started is third, and the best he started is obviously first, so that's why it's putting him somewhere in the middle. But he is one of the faster drivers around here, and I think he might get it again. He is on 104 points, and he is leading the championship too. So I think we're going to see something special from AJ as Mats comes into the pits. So we're going to jump to Max. Oh, Max has spun at turn 1. It looks like he's lost a lot of front wing as well. Yes, he has. He's lost his end plate and 2 of the top winglets on his right side there. That can't be good. He's going to have to come back in now, and he still has yet to set a time.
Yeah, it's quite early on in the quali. I think he can make a comeback, but this means that he can't go. He can pretty much only do a one-shot quali here, as if he messes up his next lap, he probably won't have time for another. Let's see.
So
Tommy
Max
is on a hot lap.
Tommy's on a hot lap. Okay, I'll jump to Tommy right now.
He hit the wall.
He hit the wall. Oh, I saw some carbon fibre flying around as soon as I jumped to him there. Yep, this is really going to separate the sheep from goats right now. We're going to see who's got the endurance and the consistency to last 39 laps around this very tight, very narrow Monaco circuit as we see Tommy come into the pits.
Just coming out of is just at the pole section now, coming into Raskas, finishing his hot lap right about now.
Ooh, got a bit of oversteer there. Max has retired from the session. Max has come out at, I think that was just after turn 12 there, as he's going into the first chicane. Yep, he's come off.
Let's see. Mighty Jungle has set a 1:11.5. That's not bad.
That's a pretty decent time, yeah. So, Mighty Jungle, this is, if you're wondering, this is ePro06. He wants us to call him Mighty Jungle. God knows why. But, yeah, he's one of our new drivers. This is his first race, also from Finland. Leica, who's above him, is our other Finnish driver. 1:11, that's a pretty decent time, but unfortunately it's going to be about 2 or 3 seconds off pole time, I reckon. But it was his first lap, so we'll see what he can do a bit later on. We have passed the halfway point. I think, is that Leica on an out lap? I think we've got Havoc on an out lap right now, so I'll quickly jump up to Havoc and see how he's getting on. I think he's just going through the swimming pool section now.
Yep.
Yeah, he's coming up to
seems to have
Raskas.
some ERS and fuel troubles, but he also has part of his front wing missing. So that hot lap he was trying to do will have to end when he hit the wall at Massenet. So I think he's going to come into the pits, but I hope he has enough time for another lap. I'm not sure.
Yeah, so Havoc only managed a 1:13.8, which is quite off pace. That's about 5 seconds slower, and that's, I think, around the average D2 time there. So he is going to have to come back in and try again. or maybe he's gonna leave that time there and maybe finish outside the... Oh, no, he won't be able to finish outside the top 10 now because... Oh, no, he will. Sorry, he will. So he may be able to start outside the top 10 with that time and choose some better tyres. Maybe that's his strategy. Who knows? We've got Vilsek, I think, crossing the line. Vilsek, our D2 driver, who is trying out D1 this weekend, has gone 4th with a 1:10.7. He's not going to be in the race, but he wants to join D1 next season. He is one of the fastest D2 drivers, so we thought we'd try him out in a qualifying session around Monaco, and if he's competitive, then he can also race in Canada next weekend. But that is a whopping time from Vilsek there. A 1:10.7 puts him in 4th place ahead of 9 other D1 drivers. I know it's still a bit early on, but that is a good lap from him.
Yep, especially considering that he's only 2 seconds off of what we know is the fastest time, or at least the fastest time we've heard from any D1 driver, which is AJ, with a 1:08.4, I believe. So this is very impressive, especially from a D2 driver. Yeah, I think we'll definitely see him in D1 next year.
Just riding on board with Jan now. He's just coming up to the final chicane at 15 and 16. He got a little bit scruffy as he went through turn 12 there, but he's locking up left, right and centre as well. Is he coming in? No, he's staying out. I think this is going to be his hot lap. DRS wide open. He's finally on the final straight here. What time does he put in? Okay, he puts in a 1:11.1 on 2-lap old soft. Now that is not bad. It's not bad. It's not great, but not bad.
Jan's strong point is definitely not the quali. He usually fights his way up during the race. But I think he's seen the essence of or the what's it called? The importance of the quali in Monaco, of course.
Yeah,
he has
of
tried
course.
his best.
So his average quali position is 5.8. So that puts him round about there, as close as you can get. I suppose he's in 6th place right now. I think that's going to lower his stat down to about 5.9, I think. But still, it is still a good, decent lap from Jan. And he will be in a good position to fight for a top 5 throughout the race. And we have to remember as well that Vilsek's not going to be racing. So although Jan won't start in 5th place, he will start in 6th, but he won't have a 5th place driver to his left. So yeah.
Yeah, and we just got a message from Castle saying that he forgot to put his setup on, so that's why he that's how he explains the slower time.
Oh no.
So I hope he's going to be able to do another time.
Yeah, that happened to me in D3 race 2 actually. I forgot to do the setup and I raced the whole D2 race 25% with a standard default setup. Yeah, it wasn't good, and he's going to be off pace. I think about half a second a lap, and that is going to mean a lot around Monaco.
Yep. That is that's too bad. It's of course the driver's fault, but you know it's not a mistake you want to make, of course. Misclick still has not set the time just yet, and he's just come into the pits. Let's see if he can still put in a time.
Yep, so it looks like, is that E-Pro again on a hot lap? Yeah, he's on a hot lap. He's just coming through turn 15 and 16 now.
Let's see, coming into Raskas. Last corner there.
He was on a 1:11.5.
Oh, he's not opened his DRS. He's quicker.
He's turned his ERS all the way down as well. He didn't improve. He's probably going to come into the pits now and see if he can get one more lap. Vilsek's on an out lap now, but he needs to remember that he needs to quit to main menu before quali ends, otherwise his car's going to be on the grid. But Vilsek is starting now actually, so we'll ride on board with him and see how he does. So he's just turned into turn 1, took a lot of inside curb, stayed in 3rd, and he's absolutely flying through turns 1 and 2 here. He's coming into Massenet now. Ooh, pushes it a little bit wide, and that affects his entry at the casino section there. He's got a car in front of him, Havoc, that's going to be slowing him down, unfortunately. I'm not sure if Havoc's on a hot lap or not. I think he is, because he's not letting him past. So this is going to affect Vilsek's time as well. Yeah. Oh no, he's going to have to give up on this lap, I think. He's sticking with it though. His ERS is still set to hot lap, and he is still going through it as he goes through turn 8 at Portier there. So he's coming through the tunnel now. Why don't you take over for the next part of the track, next part of the lap?
Yeah, coming into Nevada gets a little twitchy there. I think he just abandoned his lap.
He's just abandoned, yeah.
Sorry
about that.
Not looking like he's gone for a lean lap. Havoc still warming up, and then Castle going out for a hot lap, coming into turns 2 and 3 now onto Massenet. Let's see if he can get a okay sector 1 time. Here we go into Casino Square, I mean. See, some drivers go straight from, oh, he's just messed up, walks up into Mirabeau and, oh, nearly hit the wall.
Who are you spectating, sorry?
Castle.
Castle, sorry about that.
There's a little bump, you might not notice it as much, but when you come out of Casino Square and go, when you're going into Mirabeau, there's a little bump. And some drivers go to the right, which you see the professional Formula 1 drivers do, and some drivers go straight, but I'm not very sure whether that is just to save the bottom side of the car so they don't scratch it, or that's actually to win some time. I'm not sure about that, but what do you think?
Sorry, I'm just communicating on Discord with Vilsec right now just to make sure he doesn't leave his car out on track. Sorry about that.
Castle just coming into the end of his hot lap, a 1:12.0. That is not bad considering he does not have a setup right now.
Yeah, and he has still got his ERS set to overtake, so I think he's going for another lap, but he's only got 34% of his ERS left. Oh, he's sliding. Yeah, oh, there's the speed bump you were talking about. Yeah, I see it. Yeah, that's why you often see drivers swerve to the right, like you said, and then come back to the left. Yeah, you're right. If you go over that at full speed on a quali lap, you'll spin, definitely.
Yep, could be.
Oh, Castle's getting very scruffy as he's going through turn 8 at Portier there. And he's turned his ERS down. He's turned it down. I think he's abandoned his lap. Right, so who's on a hot lap right now? It looks like
right now, coming into the end of pool section, coming into, oh, a lot of oversteer. Coming out of the pool section, now into Raskas. Oh, more oversteer coming into the last turn. Oh, almost flies into the wall there. Let's see what he can still put in. It doesn't improve a lot on his time. You see, Stinson didn't do as good as I thought he would.
I've just noticed Kevin's not in the session. What?
Oh god.
Yeah, what? No idea. He's yeah, he's talking in Discord right now and he's not here. But anyway, so AJ is going to take provisional pole because Stinson has actually crossed the line with a 109.5 and AJ did a 109.2. So AJ's taken it. I don't think Leica. Let's see where Leica is right now. He's turned his ERS all the way off now, so he's going to abandon. He's not going to be able to do another lap. So AJ's taken it. I really thought Stinson was going to be challenging him here, but AJ has taken pole. Congratulations, AJ.
Let's see, Jan going for another hold up with only 20 ERS left, coming out of the tunnel just now. Braking hard after the 100-meter board into the Nivelle chicane, locking up big time on the left wheel. Let's see, into the back corner. I don't think he has the ERS to do to really finish this lap in proper style. Nope, he's turned his ERS down. Maybe he can save some, but I don't think so. It was looking like a clean lap, just his ERS management.
Yeah. Is he still doing it? Is he coming in? He's staying out. Jan's staying out.
He's going for it. Gotta give it to him.
He didn't improve, unfortunately.